Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India News Hour, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur. Coming up in the next 1 hour. Voting underway for the second phase of India's general elections today. Nearly 160 million voters in 88 seats across 13 states and union territories to vote today. Prime Minister urges everyone, especially youth and women, to turn out in great numbers. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken meets Chinese counterpart Wang Yi in Beijing, stresses on active diplomacy to avoid miscalculations. Wang Yi says relationship has stabilized, but negative factors are building. Actresses and activists term the overturning of Harvey Weinstein's 2020 rape conviction as an act of institutional betrayal. Victims appalled at the judgment. NATO drills set to take place close to the Russian border in Finland today. Russia says exercises in close proximity to the Russian-Finnish border are proactive in nature. Let's now get to the latest on the world's largest democratic election in India. Polling is underway for the second phase of India's parliamentary elections. Nearly 160 million voters are eligible to exercise their franchise in 88 seats across 13 states and union territories. All the 20 seats of Kerala, 14 of the 28 seats in Karnataka, 13 seats in Rajasthan, 8 seats each in Maharashtra and Uttar Pradesh, 7 in Madhya Pradesh, 5 each in Assam and Bihar, 3 seats each in Chhattisgarh and West Bengal, and 1 seat each in Manipur, Tripura and Jammu and Kashmir go to polls in this phase. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has urged his fellow countrymen to participate in voting in record numbers. In a post on social media platform X, Prime Minister tweeted that high voter turnout strengthens our democracy. He especially urged young voters and women voters to turn out in great numbers. He also added that vote is our voice. The Election Commission has made elaborate arrangements to ensure free and fair polling in the second phase of India's general polls. Ahead of the polling, India's Chief Election Commissioner Rajiv Kumar said that the poll panel has made all arrangements for the voters, keeping in view the heat wave.
जरूरत है कि वोटर्स को अधिक से अधिक संख्या में मतदान करना है. सभी तैयारियां हैं. कहीं से कोई भी अभी तक हिंसा की तो बात है ही नहीं. फिर भी हर बूथ पे फोर्सेज उपलब्ध रहेंगी, आपकी सुविधा के लिए उपलब्ध रहेंगी. खुल के मतदान करने आए बिना भी किसी चिंता के. बस मतदान के पर्व में भाग जरूर लेना है. जैसे बोलते हैं ना, चुनाव का पर्व देश का गर्व, तो उस गर्व में शामिल होना.
All right, we will get inputs coming in from our reporters who will be joining us from different parts of the country to get us the poll pulse this morning. Dibendu Mandal is joining us from Bihar and Vishal Baristo is joining us from Rajasthan. Coming first to Dibendu Mandal. Dibendu, good morning to you. When we talk of the day today, let us get a sense of how has the morning begun, and also when we talk of the constituencies, the seats going to polls today, then in Bihar, Katihar and Kishanganj are the 2 Lok Sabha seats in Simanchal in Bihar, which will be facing the crucial test today. There is a sizable minority in these seats, and of the 6 assembly segments in Katihar, Congress and BJP won 2 each, and the JDU and CPI-ML won 1 seat each. So that was a gist of how the political setup is presently there. Help us understand, do we see any changes in the permutations and combinations this time around?
Good morning, Preeti. Good morning from Bihar. You see, behind me, people are queuing up to cast their vote. We have been here since morning, and we see that the queue has been growing since morning. As you can see, both men and women have come here to cast their vote, and people are queuing up since morning. But as we are also being told that since this heat will keep increasing as the day goes on, so we can expect that till about 10 to 11 a.m. in the morning, a majority of the people will be casting their votes. So, of course, people are excited. We have spoken to a few people who had come. We just had an octogenarian who had come to vote on a wheelchair, even though she was unwell. She said that even though she was unwell, but it was her duty to come and cast her vote. So therefore, this is the kind of excitement that we see in this particular constituency of Bihar in Katihar. So of course, but also coming to the politics of this region, so as you rightly said, this has a large section of minority population that dominates this particular region, the Simanchal region of the 5 seats which are going to polls in this particular region of Simanchal, especially in the Kishanganj, Katihar and Purnia Lok Sabha constituencies. And Preeti, if you remember, caste and community plays a significant role in the politics of Bihar. So of course, the contesting candidates and the political parties have kept that in mind, and the candidates are testing their fate today. And as you see, these voters have come up to give the final verdict as to who their parliamentarian would be in the national capital of Delhi. Back to you, Preeti.
All right, Dibendu. So that was a gist of how the political contest is poised in Katihar, and it is good to see a long queue behind you. From here, let's turn focus to Vishal Baristo, who is joining us from Kota Lok Sabha constituency. Vishal, good morning. It is in fact very good to see a long queue behind Dibendu in Bihar. You tell us, you're there in Kota in Rajasthan, how has the morning begun? It is an important day, the second phase of polling in Rajasthan. Let us get a sense of how has been the voter turnout so far, though it's a little too early to talk about voter turnout.
Well, a very good morning to you, Preeti. And Rajasthan cannot be left far behind. And let me tell you that the visuals tell it all. You can see there are long queues behind me, and the women have come out in large numbers, though it is quite a hot and a humid day. But beating the heat, people have come out to exercise their franchise, and they are here in Kota. Kota is one of the 13 seats that go to polls. It is also the seat, a VIP seat, from where Om Birla, the speaker, is contesting on the BJP ticket. I have with me a lady. Let's talk to her and find out what are her issues, because today Prime Minister has also asked the women voters, appeal to the women voters to come out and vote. First of all, what are your issues when you go to vote?
As a responsible citizen, I think the development of the country is a primary issue for which I have come to cast my vote today. And as you are saying that Prime Minister has appealed all the women to come out of their houses and cast their vote, I think he is a visionary person, and he actually thinks about a women-led development. And we have already seen it on 26 January this year. So I think he is a person who has got a vision. So I'm certainly here to cast my vote on his appeal.
So there you heard, there's a long queue here. The ladies first, then you have the men there. Though they have made special arrangements, there is a shade, but it all depends on the position of the sun. So when the sun finally comes on the top by noon, they would get the shade. But let me tell you, it's a very keenly contested seat here. Prahlad Gunjal, who is contesting from Congress, is giving a tough fight. He was in BJP when the assembly elections were there. He lost the assembly election on the BJP ticket, but now he is in Congress party. So there are 13 seats. Other seats that need to be discussed today, Preeti, is one from Jodhpur, from where the Union Minister, Cabinet Minister Gajendra Singh Shekhawat is trying his luck for the third time. Of 2014-2019, both Birla and Gajendra Singh Shekhawat, they were winners, and they are looking for a hat-trick. There is another seat, that is Tok Savai Madhopur, from where BJP's candidate is looking for the third victory, and also Sukhbir Singh Janapuria is very confident that he would win for the third time, and competing with him is Congress's Harish Meena. Harish Meena is the former Director General of Police of Rajasthan. So you can see the enthusiasm of the voters. The first round was not very enthusiastic as far as Rajasthan was concerned. About 55% votes, people came out to cast their vote, but this time it has been made sure by the election commission, by different political leaders, that people come out and vote, because this is the time when they can exercise their franchise and when they can decide the fortune and future of the country. Preeti?
All right, I'll take that forward to Dibendu, who is there in Bihar. Dibendu, when we talk of the voter turnout, then it is impressive today. We've also seen how Election Commission has extended the voting hours in view of the heat wave. Now, put all this together, let us get more from you as to how do you compare, the first phase of polling in Bihar, which did not see a very overwhelming turnout. But today we see long queues behind you. How do you, compare the voter turnout this time around in the second phase, and also perhaps the reasons which are motivating the people to turn out in large numbers today?
Well, Preeti, in Bihar, if we talk about historically, the voting percentage has been low, and it generally hovers between 50 to 60%. But since morning today, what we are witnessing is long queues, as you said, behind me. And as I've been seeing, a lot of women voters, as Vishal was also saying, that the Prime Minister's appeal to the women and young youth to come out and cast their vote. We see a lot of women voters coming out to cast their vote this time around. And, it is expected the Election Commission here has also been trying to make efforts to ensure that people come out of their homes to the polling station to cast their ballot. Even the Election Commission here in Bihar had appointed Maithili Kumar as the youth icon for ensuring that youths come out of their homes and cast their vote. And the Election Commission has been carrying out multiple workshops in and around. We have been to one in and around the 5 seats where the polling is happening today. So, we are expecting that the voter turnout would perhaps increase to about 60%, especially in this phase of the elections in Bihar. So, of course, as I speak to you also, I see a lot of people still coming in to the polling booths, and it's just about 8:30 or 8:15, 8:20 in the morning. So, of course, as the day proceeds, the queues will grow, and as you said, the Election Commission has also increased the time for voting, keeping in mind the heat wave. Where I am in Bihar currently, the temperatures in the afternoon goes up to 42 degrees, and there is this strong wind of heat that blows through the afternoon. So, of course, this will give much respite to the people who stayed away due to the heat from in the afternoons, would help them come in the evening to cast their vote. So, of course,
right.
Election Commission is also making all efforts to ensure that people come to the polling stations and vote. And we are expecting that the voter turnout this time around in Bihar particularly, which has seen low voting historically, would be at least 60%. Back to you, Preeti.
All right, so we are expecting impressive turnout throughout the day. That was our correspondent Dibendu, who is with us from here. Let's turn focus to Jammu. My colleague Nandita Dagar is joining us from Jammu. Nandita, this is the second Lok Sabha seat in Jammu and Kashmir that is going to polls in this election. And when we talk of the turnout, that was 74% in the 2019 Lok Sabha polls. And today, 22 candidates are in the fray from the constituencies spread across 17 assembly segments. Even as I speak, I've been saying it to all my correspondents, it's a little too early to talk about the voter turnout, but behind you also I see huge number of people, a huge crowd, a long queue is there of the voters to exercise their franchise. You tell us, how has the morning begun there in Jammu?
Yes, people are availing this cool breeze and the slightly chilly morning of the Jammu city. Today they are making full use of it, and I am seeing very heavy footfall of voters, in fact, in Jammu. And not just this polling station where we have polling booths number 20, 21 and 22. I am hearing from people from across the city that there are very, very long queues, and there are separate queues made for men, separate for women, and you would, Preeti, there have been about 12 polling booths which are actually very critical because they are on the border, and there is in case there is shelling from the Pakistani side or Pakistani occupied Kashmir side on the LOC, these polling booths, there is a standard operating procedure or protocol which will come into place. They have been prepared, and there are pink polling stations also, especially for women, where the polling staff, the CRPF personnel, the people who are conducting the polling, all of them are women. So I spoke to a first-time voter also just now. I have sent those interviews to DD in Delhi, so we will be able to show you those interviews as the day progresses. And I'm seeing a very heavy footfall, people very enthusiastic, cheerfully showing their forefinger which has this indelible ink. And actually a lot of enthusiasm among the voters. I'm seeing very old people, disabled people too, walking on crutches or limping very slowly, but still coming out to vote. Preeti?
All right, Nandita, also when we talk of these 22 candidates who are in the fray, in the seat which is spread across 17 assembly segments, help us understand the political contest. What changes do we see this time around from the 2019 Lok Sabha polls? What all are you picking up from the ground there?
This time, Preeti, the BJP's Jugal Kishore Sharma is trying to make a hat trick, because he is the incumbent MP and he won in 2014 and also the general elections in 2019 by a very heavy margin, more than 2.5 lakh votes in fact. So he has a direct contest with the Congress's Raman Bhalla. The BJP of the Congress, of course, would be trying to dent Mr. Jugal Kishore Sharma's chances, banking on anti-incumbency, which is twice over now because he's been a two-time MP. The BJP, of course, is banking on the Modi factor, the appeal, the charisma of the Prime Minister and his popularity amongst the voters. So we are seeing a very close contest, right. But I would say that we would come to know when today evening at 6 o'clock when the ballot boxes are sealed, absolutely, and the results are out in June.
Yes, the results will be out, the ballot box is sealed, and the fate of the candidates will also be sealed. Thank you so much, Nandita, for joining in with those details. So we had inputs coming in from the Mindu, we had inputs coming in from Vishal Baristo, and Nandita joining us from Bihar, from Rajasthan and from Jammu respectively. It is still a long day when we talk of the second phase of polling today across the country. We're heading for a short break, but after the break we will also have inputs coming in from other reporters who are stationed in different parts of the country. But after the break we'll also get to a quick sneak peek and a look at the prominent candidates whose fate will be sealed today in the ballot boxes. Filing of nomination papers for the fifth phase also begins today. And India's renowned sand artist Doordarshan Patnaik creates sand art to raise awareness on elections.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked, we just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Hype versus facts. In-depth news and analysis with experts who will help you decide why this election matters. DD India is the main election headquarters with numbers most accurate. data most reliable, and viewership across the platforms. Stay tuned to the Great Indian Election only on weekdays at 8:30 p.m. IST and 1500 hours GMT.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India News Hour and I'm Preeti. And as we told you that polling is underway for the second phase of India's parliamentary elections. 88 parliamentary seats across 13 states and union territories are witnessing polls today. Congress leaders Rahul Gandhi, Shashi Tharoor, Speaker of Lower House and BJP leader Om Birla, actor turned politician Arun Govil are among the key candidates in the fray for the second phase of Lok Sabha polls. He is pitted against CPI's Annie Raja and BJP's K. Surendran. BJP's Hema Malini, Om Birla and Gajendra Singh Shekhawat are seeking a hat-trick of wins from their respective constituencies. Also, senior Congress leader and former Union Minister Shashi Tharoor is hoping to retain the Thiruvananthapuram seat for the fourth time. He is pitted against Union Minister Rajiv Chandrasekhar from the BJP and CPI's Panyan Ravindran. Hema Malini, who has represented Mathura constituency since 2014, is contesting against Congress's Mukesh Dhangar, while Om Birla, a two-time MP from Kota, is facing Prahlad Gunjal from the Congress party. Union Minister Shekhawat is eyeing a third win from the Jodhpur seat, while Tejasvi Surya, the sitting MP for Bangalore South and the national president of the Bharatiya Janata Yuva Morcha, will face Congress's Soumya Reddy. Former Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh and Congress leader Bhupesh Baghel is contesting from Rajnandgaon. People from all walks of life are coming out in large numbers to cast their votes. BJP leader and former Rajasthan Chief Minister Vasundhara Raje cast her vote in Jhalawar. Rajasthan is voting on 13 seats today in the second phase of Lok Sabha elections. 12 out of 25 seats in Rajasthan have already gone for the polls in the first phase. NDA candidate from Thrissur, Suresh Gopi, also cast his vote at a polling station in Thrissur as Kerala votes on all the 20 parliamentary constituencies in Lok Sabha polls today. Infosys co-founder N.R. Narayan Murthy and his wife Sudha Murthy were among the early voters in Bengaluru as Karnataka sees the first phase of polling in the Lok Sabha election. After casting his vote, Murthy urged others to exercise their franchise. All right, let's turn focus to Wayanad in Kerala. Siddharth Bhardwaj is joining us to get us more on the polling there. Siddharth, good morning. Let us get more sense of how has polling begun there in Kerala. Earlier when we talked with you, there was an impressive turnout. Let us get more updates from you.
Well, very good morning to you, Preeti, as well. And, since 7 a.m. here, people are coming in large numbers. And you can see behind me, there are a large number of queues of voters. They are now aware, of what it means to actually vote. And they understand the value of each and every vote, because ultimately it's the voters who will elect the MP. And I'm here in Wayanad. It's one of the most important constituencies in the state of Kerala, where 20 seats are up for grabs. From the BJP, K. Surendran is contesting. From Congress, Rahul Gandhi is contesting, and from the left, you have Annie Raja. It used to be a bipolar contest, but now it's wrong to say that it's a bipolar contest. It's no more a bipolar contest with BJP coming into the fray. It is very much expected that BJP will certainly open their account, if not here, but there in the state. At least 2 seats it is expected as per the survey. And now, as far as this constituency is concerned, it is a high-profile constituency, wherein the incumbent MP Rahul Gandhi is looking, looking for a re-win from this constituency. Last time around he won by a margin of 4,31,000, a record number, and this time around as well he's looking forward for the same numbers, or perhaps more. But with BJP coming into the fray, the political dynamics have changed here in Wayanad. People are now want to see a different change. You know, they want the solutions to their problems. They don't just want to come to the polling booth and vote for their favorite candidate. They want to vote for someone who can actually resolve their problems. Here in Wayanad, Preeti, the major problem remains of an animal-human conflict, which remains as a pressing problem here in this constituency. This particular problem is hampering their lifestyle in every manner. If you talk about financially, if you talk about otherwise as well, the human-animal conflict is actually creating problem in people's life. They want a proper solution. They said that they have told Rahul Gandhi many times that they want solution to this particular problem. And Rahul Gandhi itself in turn has said that he has written to the state government, he has written to the central government, and the solution will come out really soon. But how and when, that remains a major question. So all in all, if talking about the polling, then since 7 a.m., since the time the polling began here in this constituency, people are coming in large numbers. Women voters are coming in large numbers. This particular constituency is setting an example of people, coming out and voting in large numbers. ECI, the Election Commission of India, is also appealing to people, to citizens, to come out in large numbers and vote, because this is the time they can exercise their vote. And it's in India is the largest festival of democracy. Behind me, Preeti, you can see, the large number of people are queuing up and, all set to give their vote. Everything is going in a very streamlined manner. You can also see police personnel deployed here to ensure that everything goes smooth. People are very excited to vote. We were having a word with them, few minutes back, and they were saying that yes, this is the time they will exercise their right. This is the time to celebrate the world's largest democracy, the festival of democracy here, as we say in India. Elections here matter a lot, and this is a constituency, like I said, Preeti, it's the most keenly watched constituencies among the 20 seats which are up for grabs here in the state of Kerala.
All right, so the people are aware not only of their
you can
rights,
see police personnel are also here, and the officials are also here deployed to make sure that everything goes in a streamlined manner, and on the other hand, the voters are also very happy, to cast their ballots, as on June 4th, it will be decided that who they have chosen as the winner.
All right, so the voters there are not just aware of their rights, but their responsibilities as well. Siddharth, let's take that forward to our correspondent, Akshay Dongre, who is joining us from Noida in Uttar Pradesh. Akshay, how has the morning begun there? Let us get a sense of the polling turnout so far. You're there in Noida in Uttar Pradesh. Let us get more from you on this first.
Hi Preeti, we are in Noida, Sector 15A, and we are at the polling booth where the incumbent Member of Parliament from Gautam Buddha Nagar, Dr. Mahesh Sharma, will be casting his vote as well. It's too early to get in a sense of the polling percentage so far. The ECI will be coming up with numbers quite soon, but we'd like to show you that what is happening here. People have in fact started to come out to cast their ballots. We have all of these people that have in fact casted their ballot, so we'll just go and have a word with them as well on to how their experience was like. Sir, you have casted your ballot. How was the experience?
Experience was good. It was smooth and easy. Let's hope the best candidate wins.
Absolutely.
For
people of Gautam Buddha Nagar, what are the priorities as far as from a perspective of a voter?
Gautam Buddha Nagar, there's a lot of development which has happened over the last several years. The good roads and the other infrastructure related, there's the flyover requirement, there's the urgent requirement which has been pending for the last several years.
Yeah.
Over the Nala connecting the start of the Noida to the...
So infrastructure remains one of the core issues here.
Infrastructure, there is infrastructure, but something much more has to be done to facilitate easy movement of people.
Easy movement of people. There are a lot of people that live here. There are a lot of people that commute from Gautam Buddha Nagar to Delhi and vice versa. And in fact, infrastructure is a core issue here among the other issues of the people. So people have started to come out in huge numbers. It's too early to get in a sense of the numbers of the voters that will be casting their vote as far as percentage of turnout is concerned. But it's a good morning as far as the ECI is concerned, because people in fact have started queuing up already at the polling booths in Gautam Buddha Nagar and other constituencies that are going for polls from the state of Uttar Pradesh. Preeti.
All right, Akshay, so it is good to see that the morning has begun on a good note there in Noida as well. We will keep coming back to you again during the day to get more on the voter turnout and the expectation of the voters, because it's going to be a long day when we talk of the second phase of polling. Thank you, both of you, for joining in with those updates. So that was Siddharth joining us from Wayanad and Akshay joining us from Noida, both telling us that the voter turnout has been impressive so far. So we will be keeping you posted and updated on how has been the second phase of polling that will run through till the evening. Up next, we take a look at other election-related stories that are making it to the headlines today. Notification for the fifth phase of India's general elections will be issued on Friday, allowing candidates to file their nomination forms for the 13 parliamentary constituencies. The fifth phase of Lok Sabha elections will be held on May 20th, with voters in 49 constituencies spread across 8 states, and will cast their ballots to elect the new government. Congress party on Thursday released its first list of 8 candidates for the Lok Sabha elections in Haryana, slated to be held on May 25th. The party has fielded State Youth Congress President Divyanshu Buddhi Raja against former Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar from Karnal constituency, while former Haryana Congress President Kumari Selja has been fielded from Sirsa seat. Renowned sand artist Sudarshan Patnaik has crafted a spectacular sand display to raise voting awareness in the Indian state of Odisha. The sand art with the message, "My voice, my duty," is created at Eastern India's Puri beach ahead of the second phase of voting for the 18th general elections. We're heading for a short break. You're watching DD India News. But after the break, US Treasury Secretary says their economy is strong and that all options are open on China's overcapacity, while China urges US to respect fair competition. Haiti transitional government takes power as gangs threaten to completely take over the capital. White House says Haiti making key step towards free election. And despite a new tax for daily trippers, tourists continue to enjoy the romantic experience of Venice's picturesque canals.
Voice of a rising aspirational world. Stories of challenges, struggles and accomplishment. A world battling conflict, hunger and poverty. Embracing growth, development, science and technology. A voice of progress, a voice of unity. Watch Voice of the Global South with me, Akshay Dongre, only on DD India.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked, we just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India News Hour, and as we told you, polling is underway for the second phase of India's parliamentary elections. Nearly 160 million voters are eligible to exercise their franchise in 88 seats across 13 states and union territories. As we told you, all the 20 seats of Kerala, 14 of the 28 seats in Karnataka, 13 seats in Rajasthan, 8 seats each in Maharashtra and Uttar Pradesh, 7 in Madhya Pradesh, 5 each in Assam and Bihar, 3 seats each in Chhattisgarh and West Bengal, and 1 seat each in Manipur, Tripura and Jammu and Kashmir will go to polls in this phase. All right, Mark Lynn is joining us from West Bengal. Mark, today, we see that 3 seats are going to polls in North Bengal. Let us get a sense of how has the day begun when we talk of voter turnout, because the reporters joining us from the rest of the country have given us impressive visuals of huge crowd gathered there to exercise their franchise. You tell us, how's it like there in Bengal, West Bengal?
Right. So far in Darjeeling, I can let you know that polling has started at 7 a.m., but queues had started before that. At about 6:30 onwards, people were already lining up to come out and vote. So far, the voting has been brisk. We are at a polling station called St. Joseph's College here in Darjeeling. It has 3 polling booths. All of them are model polling booths. They are manned by, or they are controlled by women. Everything from the CAPF to the polling personnel inside are all women staff. And polling has been brisk in all these 3 polling booths so far. There are no official figures out as yet, but one can see that the people of Darjeeling are coming out in large numbers to vote, as I expect in other parts of West Bengal that are going to the polls today. That's Raiganj and Balurghat, because West Bengal has seen very high polling even in the first phase, over 80%. So we are likely to see that trend continuing, Preeti, in the second phase.
All right, Mark, when we talk of the 3 seats that are going to polls in Bengal, they are currently with the BJP, and in the second phase today, we will see prominent candidates. Their fate will be sealed. This includes BJP State President and also Darjeeling Sukanta Majumdar and also Darjeeling MP Raju Bista. Can we get more from you? Help us understand the political contest. How are the permutations, combinations going to work out? Let us get more from you on how critical are the seats that are going to polls today.
Well, all 3 seats, Preeti, are very important seats. The BJP, as you said, are holding all the 3 seats currently. The BJP has been growing in strength in Bengal ever since the last 3 elections. From 2009 onwards, they've been rising. In fact, from 2014 onwards, they've been actually rising very rapidly. From 2014, they had just 2 seats. Then they moved up to, in 2019, to 18 seats in the Lok Sabha from Bengal. Most of the strength of the BJP is in North Bengal, actually. So in these 3 seats that we are looking at, Balurghat, Raiganj, and in Darjeeling, Darjeeling has, the last time round in 2019, the sitting MP, Raju Bista, had won with a huge margin of over 4 lakh votes. But one must say that, times have moved since then. And whether he has been seen as a candidate who has delivered on his promises or not, we will see when the voters vote today. In Balurghat, you did mention Mr. Majumdar, who is the president of the party, is contesting. And against him is Mr. Biplab Mitra, who is minister in the TMC government, a consumer affairs minister. It's a tight contest, and the TMC is looking to try and wrest the seat back from the BJP. The TMC had the seat, in fact, in 2014, but had lost it in 2019. In Raiganj, again, we can see that it is a close contest. The former MP who was sitting MP from there, Devashri Chaudhary, is now contesting from Kolkata. So there is another contestant for the BJP, Mr. Karthik Paul, who is contesting from there. But he was, in fact, a member of the TMC earlier and has just recently joined the BJP. But the contestant who is contesting the ticket on the BJP, on the TMC ticket, Mr. Krishna Kalyani, he was in the BJP, was an MLA of the BJP till last month, and then has switched parties to the TMC. So really, it is old faces in taking on a new form in this particular election in Raiganj. So that's the little bit of a background on the politics of the situation.
All right, Mark. We leave it here. Thank you for joining in with those details. We'll come back to you again during the day as the polling progresses. And as we've told our viewers, polling is underway for the second phase of India's parliamentary elections. People were seen lined up at voting booths in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. These are the fresh visuals we're getting for you. Finance Minister and senior BJP leader Nirmala Sitharaman cast her vote at BES polling booth in Bengaluru. Karnataka is voting on 14 seats today in the second phase of Lok Sabha elections. Interesting to see that a groom in Vadarpura area of Amravati also came out for exercising his right to vote. All right, from here now we turn focus to international updates. US's former film producer Harvey Weinstein's 2020 conviction for sexual assault and rape was overturned by New York's highest court in a landmark ruling on Thursday. New Yorkers were shocked and appalled following the ruling and called the judgment an act of institutional betrayal. This major case fueled the origin of the popular hashtag #MeToo movement and highlighted the challenges of holding the powerful men accountable. Though Weinstein is not expected to be freed immediately as he faces a separate 16-year prison term imposed last year in California after he was convicted for the 2013 rape of an actress at a Los Angeles hotel. That conviction still stands.
This today is an act of institutional betrayal. And our institutions betray survivors of male sexual violence. And we need to work within and without the systems to start having what is known as institutional courage.
Well, I saw it about an hour ago on headlines, and I got to say it made me sick to my stomach. I'm a sexual abuse survivor myself, so the idea that this man, this monster, is getting another shot, justice hasn't been served. Justice is weak.
I was shocked and I was appalled for that verdict to be overturned, for all those women that were sexually assaulted and violated.
NATO exercises starting on April 26th in Finland and in close proximity to the Russian-Finnish border are provocative in nature, Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova said on Wednesday. Maria Zakharova in a statement said that the goal of the drill is to exert military pressure on the Russian Federation by demonstrating force. She warned that the drills increase the risks of possible military incidents. Haiti's Transition Council took power in a ceremony on Thursday, formalizing the resignation of former Prime Minister Ariel Henry. Ariel Henry announced his resignation in a letter dated April 24th and shared on social media on Thursday. Henry's Finance Minister, Michel-Patrick Boisvert, is the interim Prime Minister. Boisvert will be the interim Prime Minister until the Transition Council appoints a new head of government, a cabinet and a provisional electoral council set to pave the way for an eventual vote. The White House has welcomed the swearing-in of a transitional governing council in Haiti, hailing it as a major progress towards holding elections. White House spokesman John Kirby commended the council and said that the U.S. had landed a military aircraft at a long-shuttered international airport carrying aid. The U.S. Supreme Court heard arguments on Thursday about whether former President Donald Trump has immunity over prosecution. He faces 4 criminal trials, 2 of which relate to election interference that could be impacted by the opinion of the top court's justices. Caroline Malone gets us more.
Well, a hugely important case being heard at the Supreme Court on Thursday, with implications not just for the former President Donald Trump, but also future elections and future presidents as well. There is one scenario in which they decide that Trump should be deemed immune from election interference prosecution, and therefore a number of the criminal trials against him won't be able to go ahead. At the other extreme, they could find that he isn't immune, that he should be tried in election interference, and the court cases against him can go ahead, both the federal case out of DC and the one in Georgia as well. But what's more and more likely is that they may find in the middle somewhere that some of these arguments that they were hearing about him being immune from prosecution because he was acting in an official capacity need to be explored further. So it could go down to the lower courts again before they reach their final conclusion. Now, we're not likely to hear a final conclusion from the Supreme Court until the end of June or early July. That's when they are likely to issue a formal opinion. On the Supreme Court at the moment we have 9 justices. 6 of them are more conservative leaning and they are more likely to find in favour of Trump. But because this is such an unprecedented case, we really don't know what the outcome will be in this scenario. What we do know, though, is it's taking a long time to get to a conclusion, and therefore by the time we get an answer, we could already be in the final stages of election campaigning ahead of November 5th presidential election, which of course is likely to be a rematch between the current president Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Caroline Malone in Washington for DD India.
China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi has asked US not to interfere with China's internal affairs, while US Secretary of State Antony Blinken said that both the countries need to avoid miscalculations. Antony Blinken met with his Chinese counterpart Wang Yi in Beijing on Friday, where Wang Yi said that though China-US relationship has stabilized, but negative factors are building and are sliding into conflict with the US. While US Secretary of State Antony Blinken said that there is no substitute for face-to-face diplomacy and hope that US and China can make progress on agreements, citing fentanyl, military-to-military ties and the AI risks. Both the leaders met for talks across a range of complex issues, including deepening strains over China's backing of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Blinken is due to spend several hours with Wang across closed-door meetings at the Diotai State Guest House and a working lunch as the two sides try to maintain progress in the ties despite a broad and thorny agenda. Blinken arrived in Beijing on Thursday from Shanghai, where he urged China to provide a level playing field for US businesses. US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen strongly advocated that the US economic growth was likely stronger than suggested, and the Biden administration was keeping all options open to respond to the threats from China's excess industrial capacity. Yellen termed it as a top concern for the US and its allies. In an interview to Reuters, Yellen said that China exporting its way to full employment is not acceptable to the rest of the world. She added that the issue threatens producers of similar goods in the US, Europe, Japan and emerging markets such as India and Mexico. The same issue was discussed intensively with Chinese officials in Washington on the sidelines of the International Monetary Fund and World Bank spring meetings last week, though she acknowledged that the problem will not be resolved in a day or a week. Yellen also discussed inflation and the US economy and confirmed that the US economic growth for the first quarter could be revised higher and inflation will ease to more normal levels. And now we take a look at other stories making it to the headlines from across the globe. Himalayan Hydro Expo 2024 will conclude in Nepal on Friday. The expo that was organized during Investment Summit in Kathmandu was inaugurated by Nepalese President Ramchandra Paudel on Thursday. The theme of the expo was Green Energy for Prosperity and aimed to prioritize energy sector in the country. Bangladesh's weather department has issued a countrywide fresh heatwave alert for the next 72 hours from Thursday morning. The heatwave condition has forced the authorities concerned to close all schools, madrasas and colleges till April 27th. Dhaka University authorities also announced to hold classes online due to the scorching heat. Despite a new tax for daily trippers, tourists continue to enjoy the romantic experience of Venice's picturesque canals, which are a dream for many. On board the typical Venetian boats led by rowers, tourists agreed with the measure consisting of a €5 charge daily trippers must pay on certain days before diving into Venice's narrow alleyways. Venice became the world's first city to test the system that will be enforced in a total of 29 days this year. A short break ahead, but after the break, English Premier League defending champions Manchester City is on course to win another title as it extends its unbeaten run in the league to 18 games. Kolkata Knight Riders will take on Punjab Kings in IPL today. And as we celebrate the Festival of Democracy in India, the Election Commission has urged people to take family and friends along while going to the polling station.
Hype versus facts. In-depth news and analysis with experts who will help you decide why this election matters. DD India is the main election headquarters with numbers most accurate, data most reliable, and viewership across the platforms. Stay tuned to the great Indian election only on weekdays at 8:30 p.m. IST and 1500 hours GMT.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India News Hour. Let's take a look at sports updates now. English Premier League defending champions Manchester City is on course to win another title, just 1 point behind Arsenal. City scored another big win, defeating Brighton 4-0 on Thursday night, which is winless from their last 5 Premier League matches. Phil Foden continuing his career best scoring season with 2 goals. Foden's goal came between scores by Kevin De Bruyne and Julian Alvarez as City extended its unbeaten run in the league to 18 games. Liverpool is 2 points further back in third, while its title chances were damaged by a 2-0 loss at Everton on Wednesday. Royal Challengers Bengaluru snapped their 6-match winning streak in the ongoing IPL 2024 after defeating Sunrisers Hyderabad by 35 runs on Thursday. The Faf du Plessis-led visiting side won the toss and scored a par 206 for 7. Bengaluru's spin duo of Khan Sharma and Swapnil Singh snapped 4 wickets between themselves to lead RCB to its second win of the season. Hyderabad's openers Travis Head and Abhishek Sharma failed to build a partnership. Hyderabad incurred their first loss in the last 5 games, scoring 172 for 8. Meanwhile, Kolkata Knight Riders will take on Punjab Kings in the 42nd match of the IPL today. Kolkata have had a great season so far as they have won 5 of their last 7 matches. They are currently placed second in points table with the best net run rate among all the teams. Punjab Kings, on the other hand, have won only 2 of their last 8 matches. The two sides have locked horns 32 times. Kolkata has won 21 matches and Punjab had won just 11 matches. Britain's Prime Minister Rishi Sunak took part in a morning run around London on Thursday with extreme marathon runner Russ Cook, who recently ran the entire length of Africa. The pair interacted about how Cook got into running, and Sunak spoke about the pressures of the job of leading the country. Sunak said decisions related to security were always the most stressful days. Marathon runner Russ Cook is nicknamed Hottest Greaser. He recently completed his run across the entire length of Africa in Tunisia on April 7th.
Kind of whatever you do is going to upset like at least 50% of people. But you just have to.
As voting is underway for the phase 2 of India's Festival of Democracy, the Election Commission of India has urged everyone to take family and friends along to the polling station. The awareness of this is continuously being created, especially after low voter turnout was recorded in the first phase. All right, so that was Election Commission's call of Saath Chalenge to ensure that people turn out in large numbers to vote today in the second phase of polling. This is the big news that we will be tracking for you through the day. But as of now, that's it in this edition of DD India News Hour. But let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can connect with us on social media platforms. And also, for those of you on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. This app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. And also you can scan the QR code there and get it on your phones. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Preeti Kaur signing off, and from all of us in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India News Hour.